Hi fellow crocheters, this is Jan with Jack and Jan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at how to carry our yarn for the Detroit Poncho crochet pattern. So you've already purchased the pattern. Thank you so very much. We really appreciate your confidence in us, and we're going to just walk you through this so that you can make this absolutely unique piece. Okay, now what I've done here is we determined in the previous video on the gauge swatch how that we needed 8 stitches across and we needed 8 rows in order to get a 4x4 gauge swatch. So I'm following along with that, and what we're going to do is we're just going to make a little gauge swatch here of the carrying of the yarn. Now we already know that the pattern is a double, single, double, single, double, single consecutively, and then according to the stitches in the pattern that's written. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to join and carry the yarn. Okay, now I started with the black because I know it's harder to see stitches in black on a video, and I appreciate that. So we're just going to bring that white right in here and get you going on it. Okay, so you've come to the end, and you're not going to chain in the color that you just did, but you're going to want to once you join, you don't have to do this anymore. So we're just going to join right now so we can cover that, and then we're just going to show you how to carry the yarn from there. Okay, so you want to join with color B, just pull your loop right through. It's very simple. Pull this down, tighten everything up a little bit. Don't tighten color B up though too much, because you won't be able to pull through and do a chain as you should, because in this particular video we have ended on the double crochet, and so that means that our next stitch has to be a single crochet. Alright, so color A is our black in this particular instance, and color B is the yarn that we joined and that we're going to now be working with. So we're going to carry the black or color A, and we're going to work with color B. Now what I do just to keep these yarns from getting untangled is I have one on one side and one on the other. You can't see it right now because the video screen isn't big enough, but when you're working, if you keep them separate and make sure you have balls or you have the skeins where you've pulled the yarn from the center and it's easy to pull, because that's the whole key to keeping really good tension with this so that your stitches are nice and even. Okay, so we've joined our yarn, and again we've got the tails here. These are the tails. You have to push those off to the side. You'll be weaving those later. And now we've joined, and we're going to be working with color B. Okay, so we've chained one as we should, and we're going to go right into that first stitch, and we're going to stick with our white, or in this case our off-white, and see how we did that? We just left the black or color A right on top. We're just going to crochet right on top. Now our next, the pattern calls for the next stitch to be a double crochet. So we're just going to do that. I'm going to go nice and slow so you can see this. Now see, I'm carrying the yarn. Don't pull it too hard, but don't let it loose either, because otherwise it'll kind of show through. See, what's happening is you're changing colors, but you're keeping the colors the same so that you can go back and forth. And we're going to get into some tapestry crochet later at Jack and Jan, and we're really excited about that. We're going to show you how to do some really fun stuff with this. So this is a really easy technique once you get the hang of it. And once you get the hang of it, we're going to create some really cool pieces with this. Okay, so we just did a double, so now we're going to do a single again. And then a double, and keeping that black color or the color A right on top. We're just going to keep going, okay? So we're going to go all the way to the end. And again, the pattern, follow the pattern. It's single, double, single, double. We just did a single. Now we're going to do a double. Just lay that yarn right on top and just crochet right over that yarn, right over that color A yarn. And see, you can see how it's already starting to become very interesting looking. This is absolutely one of my favorite patterns right here, this poncho. I just think it's so different and so unique. Okay, so now we're at the end of the row. Do not chain. okay, in that color. We're going to switch colors. We're going to go back to color A. So now, before, what we need to do is we need to drop color B, pick up color A, and chain 1, because our next stitch is going to be a single crochet. So single crochet, double crochet, and I'm sorry, we're just going to have to work through my dog here. Single crochet, double crochet, and see, we're right on top. Isn't that neat? Right on top, and see, we're going into the opposite. You can see how it's going down, up, and that's right. That's going to form the pattern, so you're doing great. Okay, now we're going into a double and carrying that yarn, a single, and a double, and we're at the end. And then just make sure when you get to the end that you give it just a slight pull, but please do not tug it. Do not pull too hard, because you'll pull the piece this way and it'll be lopsided. But we are doing everything that we're supposed to do. Now we're at the end, so we've got a loop into the color that we're going into. Okay, we want to make sure that we stay in that stitch, that first stitch from the hook. We don't want to drop a stitch. So now we've got that yarn, we're carrying it, and we're going to go right single back into the double that we just made. Now we're going to do a double and a single and a double. See how it gets easier? Once you get the feel for it, it's really not that hard. And like I said, I just personally think that this is one of the prettiest stitches. I love black and ivory anyway, but I think this is really a good way to showcase two colors. So we just did a double, so we're going to go back and do a single, a double, a single, and our last stitch is a double. Oops, right into there. And then just remember, when you turn for your turning chain, don't do the same color, just do another color. And then turn. And we'll do one more row together, and that should be more than enough for you to get this. Like I said, it's not that hard. You're just laying that yarn down right on top of the stitches and crocheting right over it. So we're going to start with that single and our double. Always just pull your yarn out a little bit. Always have a good amount of yarn pulled out so that you're not, again, pulling your piece, because you have to remember there's a straight piece of yarn that's running on top of all these stitches, and if you pull it, your piece is going to get a little wonky. So again, here we go. We did double. Now now we're going to do single, and you don't want to just go through one loop there. This is definitely both loops here. And then double, and then single, and then double, and then single. Goodness. And then that lip just doesn't want to cooperate, does it? There we go. And then double. Oops, now see, this is where you can make a mistake. I didn't carry I had a little trouble finding that end stitch. That's my fault. But don't forget to carry your yarn even on that last stitch, because that will be a mistake that you'll regret later. You won't be able to go back and fix that. But see, there we go. Okay, now see how that's starting to look like your houndstooth? I think this is just amazing, and it's an easy stitch to do. Once you get the hang of it, and believe me, if you're not making a video, it's going to be even easier because you've got more room to work with. But thank you so much again for purchasing our Detroit poncho pattern. please do contact us at info@jackandjan and send us a couple photos. We'll send you a free pattern if you send us 2 photos of your completed piece that we can use here on our website and in our blogs. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by, and happy crocheting.